From Financial Information Division, Acra, to give a quick guide on BizFinx preparation tool. Mr. Lee, please.
Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start, may I have a show of hands, which one of you have already installed the preparation tool? Can you just show your hands if you have installed the preparation tool? Okay, I don't see many hands. So I think this session will be very useful for you. Okay, my name is Sheng Jie. I'm the analyst of Financial Information Division. In today's presentation, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the quick guide. Sorry. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the quick guide of the BizFinx preparation tool. The purpose of the quick guide is to provide an overview of the key functions of the preparation tool and also allow preparers to have a quick start of using the preparation tool to prepare XBRL financial statements that is compliant with the new Acra Taxonomy 2013 and also the revised XBRL filing requirements that will become effective later this year. And in today's presentation, I'm going to cover mainly three parts: the installation and how you get started, and some of the key functions of the preparation tool. To begin with, we will have the installation. Okay, the color looks a bit different, but it's okay. Like any other desktop applications, the BizFinx preparation tool has certain minimum system requirements in terms of software and hardware. For example, the operating system needs to be Windows XP and above, and also before you install the preparation tool, you will need to have the Microsoft Office 2003 and later. We also recommend certain hardware specifications to allow the preparation tool to work smoothly, so you do not experience slowness when you perform some of the key functions. This slide brings the focus on the requirements of the operating system and also Microsoft Office. As a result, Macintosh, Linux, and the other operating systems are not supported. OpenOffice is also not supported. The table here shows you the specific Microsoft Office versions that are supported by the BizFinx preparation tool. I mean, you may have noticed that the starter version, the trial version, the home or student versions, all these versions are not on this table because they are not supported. The reason is because these are more basic Microsoft Office versions, and it lacks certain technical modules inside to allow the preparation tool to function properly. But we are glad to see that most of the Microsoft Office versions that are licensed to work under business environment is supported by the BizFinx preparation tool. Examples are the small business versions and the home and business versions. And naturally, the next question is, where can I download the installer and install the preparation tool? You can go to this web link here, and you can register your personal particulars with your email address, and then you will be sent the download links of the installers. Very importantly, that you need to provide the correct email address, because the download links will be sent to the email address. I would also want to emphasize there are two installers for the BizFinx preparation tool. One installer is for Microsoft Office 2003. The other one is for Microsoft Office 2007 and later. So before you click to download the installer, check your computer for which version of Microsoft Office you have on your computer. If it's 2003, do not download the installer for 2007. The installation for the BizFinx preparation tool is very similar to other desktop applications. You can double click on the installer, you will see the setup wizard. It's very easy, you can just click through next to and also accept the terms and the conditions. So you will see an icon created on your desktop. Using that, you can launch the BizFinx preparation tool. Microsoft.NET Framework 3.5 is also required for installing the preparation tool, but not to worry, because this is quite technical information for you. The installer has the capability of detect whether you already have the .NET Framework installed on your computer. So if you don't have it, the installer will give you a message to show you where to download, and you can install for free from Microsoft web page. We also noted that many companies have strict IT policies that prevent employees to install third-party applications. So in that case, you may have to approach your IT personnel to get the administrator right to perform the above installations. In certain scenarios, you may have to uninstall the preparation tool manually, because I just give you one example. If you have installed the 2003 version of the installer, but you have the 2007 Microsoft Office on your desktop, the preparation tool wouldn't work. So in that case, you will have to manually uninstall the installer for 2003 before you can install the installer for 2007. But for normal, like you want to upgrade from the August version to the October version, just now Waiting mentioned, right? We are going to have a new version in October. If you have installed the correct version for your Microsoft Office, the installer has the capability of detect and replace the files by itself. So in that case, you don't have to worry. You can just click on the installer, then the files will be replaced by itself. It's only when you try to install like the two versions on the same computer, then it will cause problem. And then in that case, you will have to manually uninstall the older versions first. So these are the steps. After you have installed the preparation tool, and this will be the first page you see when you launch the preparation tool. And obviously you will see two buttons here. One is the create button, the other one is the open button. The create button is for you to create a new set of XBRL financial statements. The open one is to open the XBRL files previously saved by using this BizFinx preparation tool. It does not open XBRL files created by FS Manager, the current system. Okay? And for most of you, I think, because this one is only recently launched, so it's very probably you're going to use the create button here to start the preparation process. And this screen shows you the steps of creating a new set of XBRL financial statements. First, you will need to fill in the scoping questions. It's very much like what we have in FS Manager. The general questions we ask about the company's name, UEN, the current financial year, start and end dates, all this information. Then the taxonomy will be determined, and also the templates will be generated based on the answers you provided for the scoping questions. After that, you can proceed to customize your templates if required, and then fill in the financial information, validate and generate the XBRL financial statements. Last of all, if you have errors inside, you will need to rectify the errors first. Like what we mentioned just now, we do not accept files with errors inside, with generating errors inside. This is the screen showing you the scoping questions. After you click Create on the introduction screen, you will see the scoping question screen, which is composed of two sections, the upper panel and the lower panel. So let me zoom in to show you the upper panel. The upper panel contains the basic information about a company, the name of a company, the UEN, whether you are preparing for the full set of financial statement highlights, what is the accounting standard that you are using, and what is the current period, start date, and end days. These basic questions here will determine the taxonomy version. And based on the taxonomy version, the templates, the lower panel of questions will be generated after you click on Next. Okay, before I show you, this is the lower panel. But before I show you the lower panel, I want to emphasize here that information field in the scoping questions will determine the templates to be generated by the preparation tool, which means it is very important that you answer the questions in the scoping questions carefully and make sure you have the correct answers. Otherwise, the templates will be generated wrongly for you. For example, the questions just now we showed have the choice of full set of financial statements or financial statement highlights. These two templates are very different. So if you choose wrongly, the wrong templates will be generated. And also the accounting standards. This is the lower panel, which contains more questions to help the preparation tool to determine what are the suitable set of templates to be generated for you. For example, the question whether companies is preparing financial statements for the first time since incorporation. If you answer yes, there will be only the current year column generated for you. Okay, and also the type of statement of financial position, whether it's by current, non-current, or it's by liquidity. And also type of income statement, whether it's by function or by nature. So this will also determine the type of templates generated for you. After you have filled in the scoping questions, you can click on Proceed. And this is the first screen you will see, which is the content page. The content page will show the list of templates that are generated based on the minimum requirement list. And you can also see on the left-hand side, the small screen here, it shows you all the templates that are available under the taxonomy, and especially those that are grayed out are the same as what you see on the left-hand side, the list of templates, because the grayed out ones are those under minimum requirement list. Like what I said, the templates are by default generated based on the minimum requirement list. And we have explained that the minimum requirement list refers to the information that companies must submit as long as the information is available from the AGM financial statements. Also, the fields that are not relevant should be left blank. Do not try to fill in all the blanks. You may wish to review the templates generated and understand the context of the financial statements you are preparing, including whether the templates need to be filled in at all. For example, you see the list here has the government grants. So if your company doesn't have government grants and you don't have such a disclosure note, you can simply leave it blank. After the templates are generated, there are a few ways for you to customize the templates, because after it's generated, that doesn't mean that it is similar, it will be similar to the AGM financial statements. You can do further customization to the templates, and these are the 5 ways for you to do that. First of all is to edit answers to the scoping questions. If you find, for example, the income statement, your AGM financial statement has income statement by function. And you notice the income statement generated for you is by nature. So what you can do is you can go to the filing information, the template, and click on edit. Later on, I'm going to do a demo for this. So you will see the scoping question again, and you are able to change the answers to the scoping questions, and the correct template will be generated for you. The second one is to add or delete templates. Just now on the content page, okay, I go back to the content page. It's the same. You see the left-hand side is the list of templates generated for you. The right-hand side shows the list of the templates under the taxonomy. This is like a zoom-in version of the right-hand side. You see those templates that are grayed out are the templates under the minimum requirement list. And those that are not grayed out, for example, the director's report is not required under the minimum requirement list. But if you want to voluntarily provide more information, you can do that. You can select using the checkbox and click on Update Templates. So this is how you add and delete. Okay, one thing to note is you cannot deselect the templates that are generated under the minimum requirement list. Those grayed out ones, do not try to deselect. It doesn't work. Add, delete company columns. By default, the templates for consolidated accounts shows the columns for group financial data. So some companies, they may choose to report company accounts along with the group accounts. So in that case, what you can do is you can go to the Toolbox and you can click on Add. This is a company column function, and you can click on Add. So the company columns will be created side by side with the group columns. You can also use this button to delete the columns that have been created for you. Add, delete columns with custom dates. For example, if you want to create a column for third year of statement of financial position for group level, what you can do is you can go to the Toolbox, find the function called Custom Date Options, click on Add. Then you will see a pop-up for you to enter the financial period start and end dates. And this is the columns that have been added here. Okay. Later on, I will do a demo for this too. The last one is to edit dimensional tables. Okay, that sounds very technical. What are dimensional tables? I will just use two examples to explain. It will be easier for you to understand. The first one is the note for property, plant, and equipment. This is an example of explicit dimensions. For example, here you will see total land and building, motor vehicles, and other vehicles. So these are all predefined classes under the property, plant, and equipment, this table. So if you click here, edit classes of property, plant, and equipment, you will see a list of the predefined classes for you. You can select, deselect, you can reorder, so that the columns here for this table will be arranged accordingly and to be similar to what you have in your AGM financial statements. Okay. The second example I'm giving here is the note for investments in subsidiaries. There is no way for Acra or anybody to predict what is the name of your subsidiary. So that's why you will need to type it in yourself. So that is what we call typed dimensions, is for you to type and define for yourself. With that, let's assume that you have already done all the required customization for the templates. The next step is for you to fill in the templates. In a broad sense, there are two ways for you to do that. First is for those who already have their AGM financial statements in Word or Excel format. The second is for those who do not have Word or Excel format. I'm going to cover the second first because it's easier. The only way is for you to manually key in the data. But because the tool itself is built on Excel, so keying the data will be very, very familiar because, I mean, everybody knows how to use Excel, right? So that is how you key in the data. For the second one is for those who already have AGM financial statements in Word or Excel format. The tool does have several functions to reduce the burden of manual data entry. For example, the auto tagging and drag and drop functions. So I'm going to cover all these steps A, B, C, D, E. First, let's look at import source document. In the toolbox, there is a button called source. You click on that, you will see a window, selection window. You can browse your folders to select your AGM financial statements. Then you click on that to open and load your AGM financial statements. So in this box here, you see ABC Limited, right? This is a cover page after I have loaded the AGM financial statements. So this is the first step, is to import source document. But I want to emphasize the source document must be in Word or Excel format. Some of the preparers have asked, like, why can't you accept PDF? Okay, because I have PDF. I don't have Word or Excel. The reason is because PDF is a static format. There's no way for computer systems to extract information from PDF. It's also, on point 2 here, you see, if there are tables of Excel embedded in Microsoft Word, it will be treated as an image. Auto tagging, drag and drop functions will not work. So I guess a number of preparers, they also have like Excel embedded in the Microsoft Word. This one wouldn't work, but the good news is Acra is exploring to provide a small tool to convert the Excel embedded tables in Word into normal tables in the Word. So after using that tool, the source document you have should be able to be used by the preparation tool for auto tagging and drag and drop purposes. On the third note is the tables in the source document should be in structured format. What we mean by structured format is that there shouldn't be blank, empty columns or data separated by tabs or merged cells or data spanning over 2 or more cells, especially to note that tabs, because some companies, they do use tabs to do the formatting. The reason is the tabs is a Microsoft specific thing. So that is why we cannot build this to be recognized by the preparation tool. So it's technical challenging for us to recognize the tabs. After you have loaded the source document, the next step is for you to copy and paste the full set of financial statements. So what you can do is go to the template of full set of financial statements. These are screenshots from the preparation tool. You see full set of financial statements. You double click here, you will see the text editor, which is designed to be very much like Microsoft Word, but they are not equivalent. Then you can copy and paste the entire AGM financial statements into the text editor and save it. Auto tagging. Auto tagging function performs an automatic assignment of financial figures in the AGM financial statements to the respective elements of the minimum requirement list according to matching rules already built inside the tool. Okay, what we mean here is that you already have the source document and you have the templates, and the steps below will show you that you can select the certain areas, the respective areas in your source document, And if you are at the correct templates, you can simply click on auto tag. But before that, make sure that you see these are the two checkboxes you see here, right? One says, does your selection have a note number column? Okay, you have to answer correctly. So this one has the note number, so answer yes, or select the checkbox. And also remember to select the table selection row-wise for auto tagging. Remember to do that. So after you have done this, you can click on auto tag. What will happen is here, you see the source document. The table has been highlighted in green and orange colors. And also, the templates inside the preparation tool now have some figures inside. So what it does is, the auto tagging will assign the line items in the source document to the taxonomy item in the templates. So for the green ones are those which have already been auto tagged by the preparation tool. The orange ones are the ones that have not been auto tagged by the preparation tool. On top of the basic auto tagging function, we do have an enhanced version of the auto tagging. It is called selective auto tagging. It is very similar to the basic auto tagging. The only difference is you are allowed to select more targeted areas on the source document as well as on the templates. So the auto tagging will only perform for these two areas to allow more accurate auto tagging process. For those items that cannot be auto tagged, you can use the drag and drop function. Drag and drop, I think by now people should be quite familiar with. What you do is you simply select the line items along with all the figures, and you drag it and drop it on the templates. I will do a demo on this, and it will be clearer to you how we do that. Drag and drop does not only work on one line, it also works on multiple consecutive rows. For example, on your AGM financial statement, you have trade debtors, you have other receivables. These two items should be tagged under trade and other receivables on the template. So what you can do is you can select two rows and drag them together. And you can notice the company labels now is showing the two company labels here joined together. And also the 40 is the sum of 30 plus 10. So these are all automatically done by the preparation tool. And also a footnote will be created to show what has been done by the preparation tool. So the footnote is something like this. On the screen you can see. The last one I want to talk about is to import the prior period figures. This is very much like what you have on the FS Manager. It's simply that you can import, you can use the previously saved XBR files to import figures onto the templates in the prior period columns. So it is useful for the next year when you prepare the XBR financial statements, you can use this function. After covering how to get started and fill in the data, I'm going to cover other key functions. First, we look at the toolbox. The toolbox has all the functions inside the preparation tool. So you will see this a lot. The first in the row is templates. This one allows you to view all the templates, and this one allows you to delete all the data you have entered on the templates. Second one is save. There are three formats you can save: AGM copy, review copy, and XBRL file. AGM copy is simply what you have provided in the full set of financial statements. The review copy contains all the data filled inside the templates on top of the AGM. So including all the mapping you have done on top of the AGM copy. The XBRL file, this button I think if you are preparing, you have to use this one because the XBRL file saved will be filed as part of the annual return. The next is to import, this one I have covered just now, is to import the prior data. The company labels field, note number fields, these two is simply to hide and show the two columns. On the templates we have two columns. One is the company column, the other one is the note number column. So this function will allow you to hide some of the columns to maximize the working space you have, because sometimes you may feel the screen is a little bit cramped. Okay? The note text block, which is here, allows you to view and delete the note text. For example, the full set of financial statements is added in as a note text block. So if you click here, you will view the full set of financial statements or delete. We mentioned just now that when you drag and drop consecutive multiple rows, a footnote will be created for you automatically. So this is the place which allows you to add in footnotes manually, and also you can delete the footnote. Reorder allows you to reorder the taxonomy items on the templates. The custom date options, just now I mentioned, allows you to add additional columns for reporting. Company columns allows you to add the company columns along with the group columns. Untagged rows, this is a function allows you to hide all the blank rows you have on the templates. So in a glance, you will see what are the information or data you have filled inside, and you will check. You are able to check whether the correct information has been provided for the mapping. For restated option here is simply to add the word restated, because sometimes the accounts may be restated for certain columns. You can add in the word. Decimal is to increase or decrease the decimal places for the figures inside the templates. Rules repository, okay, this one is, I was going a bit fast because later on I'm going to do a demo for all these functions. I think by talking maybe you cannot associate very well. So anyway, later after the tea break, I'm going to do a demo for all these functions so you have a better idea. But I want to emphasize on the rules repository. The reason is because the rules repository stores all the mapping rules from the AGM financial statements mapped against the taxonomy elements. So actually this is the mapping rules stored for auto tagging to work. If you have managed the rules repository well this year, and if you start to preparing your XBR financial statements next year, it may be much easier for you because you can have a more robust rules repository to provide the auto tagging function. So this is like what the rules repository window looks like after you click on view, okay? So after you click on view, you will see for company B, these are the set of mapping rules from the taxonomy elements to the company specific labels. For example, stock is mapped to inventories. So next year, if your AGM financial statements has stock, the tool will know how to automatically map this into the inventory on the templates. And also this works for different companies. It's not just working for one company. And what you can also do is you can try to export the rules repository and import the rules repository. In a way, you can share the rules repository among your colleagues so that you can work together to make the rules repository more robust for the next year for auto tagging, to reduce the need of doing the drag and drop and manual data entry. This explains the rules repository. The next function we have is for autosave. Autosave is a function that allows preparation tool to save the workbook at a fixed interval of time. The default is 3 minutes. So this one will help you to avoid the situation of data loss. Sometimes you may forget to save your work. The last one is for freeze panes. Freeze panes is something we already have in the Excel, built inside the Excel application. So you may be asking me, why do you still have this? It's because we have received feedback for Microsoft Office 2007 or 2003 versions. These freeze panes do not work with the preparation tool. That's why we have built in a dedicated function here to allow you to freeze the rows and columns so you can navigate the templates better. Okay. The mapping assistant is for you to search. For example, you're not sure how to tag some of the information. The example given here is cash on hands. So after you have keyed in the company-specific label here, you can click on search, and the relevant taxonomy elements will be shown, highlighted in yellow. Here it shows cash and bank balances. So it is suggesting to you that you should map cash on hands against cash and bank balances. And if you double click here, you'll be taken to the element on the templates directly. The preview pane is just to preview the text block as well as the footnote. So if you click on certain cell that contains footnote or the text block, the preview pane will show it here. Next one is on the validation. Okay, this is a very important function which allows you to validate the XBRL financial statements before you submit to the BizFinx portal, so you can rectify the genuine errors before you even go to the portal. Please note here there are two types of errors, the genuine errors and also possible errors. The genuine errors are those you must rectify. The possible errors are just warnings to you for you to check whether these are really genuine, or it's also, it's not a genuine error. It's for you to confirm. And this window shows you the validation results. You will see 3 buttons here: revalidate, attach, export to Excel. The revalidate allows you to, after you have rectified the error, for example, you want to revalidate, you can click on this button. Attach, because this window itself is shown for the validation window that has been detached from the template. When it's detached, it will show a bigger view. So if you want to attach to make the validation window side by side with the templates, you can click on here. You can also export all these errors to an Excel sheet. Okay, for the tables here, I'm going to explain what are these column headers mean. The number is simply the serial number. The error message, as you can see, these red text are the error messages. Under the error messages, you have the elements to check. And if you click on each of these elements, it will be taken you directly to the element for you to check. Okay? The section means what is this element belongs to. For example, the year of appointment of signing director belongs to independent auditor's report. Error ID is the unique number, unique ID for this error message. So, for example, you are not sure what does this error message mean, you can always call back to Acra help desk and you tell us what is the error ID, so it will be easier for us to track. The last one is the type of error, which can be genuine error or possible error. Okay, this is the same as what I have explained just now on validation window. The last slide is on the shortcut keys. These are very normal shortcut keys, and I think most of you should know about this. I only want to emphasize 2 of them, which is Control plus drag and drop, and the Shift plus arrow keys. Okay, the Control plus drag and drop is necessary when you try to drag and drop textual information, the text, like for example, a paragraph, you try to drag and drop onto the Excel template, you will notice it will be cut instead of copy. So to allow it to be copy instead of cut, you can click on the control button. For the shift plus arrow keys is for you to more accurately select the table rows. If you have used the preparation tool, you may notice the source window, the source document window sometimes scrolls very fast, and you may find it difficult to do an accurate selection. So in that case, you can use the shift and the arrow keys to select row by row. And with that, I end my presentation. Thank you.